Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Delusional Giudice smacked with truth, not a housewife. Delusional RHONJ daughter, Giudice has been smacked with the truth as fans alert her that she's not a housewife. The 23-year-old has popped up in several episodes of the hit Bravo reality series. Yet she has not left the best impression on viewers in the last few seasons. So what else are fans saying about Teresa Giudice's mini-me? Keep reading for more details. Giudice was an adorable and sweet little girl when RHONJ first began. She even put her mother, Teresa Giudice, in her place several times, which viewers appreciated. Then Teresa met and fell in love with Luis Ruiz, and everything changed. Gia developed a very sharp tongue and did not think before she spoke. She was unkind to her uncle and aunt, Joe and Melissa Gorga, plus she talked poorly about her mother's co-stars. It appeared she was always on her mother's side, no matter what she said or did, which was hard for viewers. They did not understand why Gia had to be around all of the time, acting like she was a housewife when she very clearly was not. Plus, Gia always defended her mother's marriage to Luis, praising her stepfather even if he was indefensible. Recently, Gia was on Teresa's Turning the Tables podcast. According to Monsters and Critics, she chatted about how some think she is too into her mother's life and problems. I'm very much an adult, but the people who also say that about me are just they're very insecure and jealous. They're jealous because they don't have somebody like me on their side. They're probably jealous of our relationship and how I have your back. She also noted that if the cast has issues with her jumping to Teresa's defense, she has the solution. They can invite their children to the series to do the same for their parents. Apparently, viewers did not care for what Giudice had to say because they went off in the comments. Absolutely nobody is jealous or insecure. She really shouldn't be on the show. She's not a housewife, and she's the only child who has inserted herself or brought in. The Delusions. This is absolutely Teresa's child. Gia is as delusional as her toxic mother. No one on the show is jealous of Teresa having Gia have her back. The cast and the viewers just don't like Gia or want her involved in the drama. At this point, all of this does not really matter when the future of RHONJ is up in the air. Season 14 did not have a traditional reunion because of the way the cast struggled to interact. So Bravo and Andy Cohen knew they had some big decisions to make for Season 15. And that may or may not include Teresa and Giudice. When the last season ended, Teresa's husband, Luis Ruiz, made a very cruel comment regarding Margaret Joseph's son. As soon as Teresa got a chance to see it on film, she never said he was wrong. Rather, she defended him while viewers were up in arms. Giudice, the eldest daughter of Teresa Giudice, has been a fixture in the spotlight since she was just a child. As the offspring of one of the most iconic stars of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, her life has been steeped in the drama, scandals, and reality television moments that have defined the franchise. Yet, as Gia grows older, there's been a clear shift in her demeanor, and it's starting to rub people the wrong way. The 23-year-old has made no secret of her aspirations. Whether it's following in her mother's footsteps, launching a career in law, or riding the wave of social media fame, Gia has been positioning herself as a rising star in the Housewives universe. But recently, her delusions of grandeur seem to be spiraling out of control, with fans and even insiders calling her out for trying to climb too high too fast, without paying her dues. The latest incident that set the internet ablaze was during an Instagram live session where Gia, basking in the glow of her influencer fame, hinted at her potential return to the RHONJ cast. But she didn't stop there. With a confident, almost entitled air, She casually mentioned how she deserved to be a full-fledged housewife, not just an occasional guest or cameo appearance. In her eyes, she had earned the role through her years in front of the cameras and the drama she's been embroiled in. After all, Gia's life has been a roller coaster of legal battles, family feuds, and media scrutiny. Why shouldn't she claim her spot? However, fans were quick to remind Gia of one glaring truth: she's not a housewife. The overwhelming response to her claim was a collective eye roll. Twitter and Reddit were flooded with comments mocking her perceived entitlement, dubbing her delusional for believing she had a right to that coveted title. Gia really thinks she's the star of the show. Girl, you're not even in the credits, one user quipped. Being Teresa's daughter doesn't make you a housewife. It makes you part of the supporting cast, another fan added, highlighting the fundamental distinction Gia seems to overlook. One of the core criticisms that fans and some industry insiders have lobbed at Gia is her assumption that simply growing up on camera is enough to qualify her for a starring role. While it's true that Gia has had her share of public drama, her father's deportation saga, her strained relationship with her uncle Joe Gorga, and her own social media controversies, none of it makes her a housewife in the eyes of the show's loyal viewers. The Real Housewives franchise is built on the personal lives, marriages, and social dynamics of the cast members. Gia, though a compelling personality in her own right, simply hasn't earned her stripes in the same way as the other women on the show. Teresa's larger-than-life persona, for example, is rooted in her marriage to Joe Giudice, her time in prison, and her eventual rise back to the top after being knocked down. The other cast members, from Melissa Gorga to Dolores Catania, have all weathered real-life drama that they've had to manage publicly, and most importantly as adults. Gia, while she's no stranger to the drama, has yet to experience that pivotal part of what makes a housewife, a life of her own outside the shadow of her mother's influence. The truth, which many fans have tried to make clear to Gia, is that her entitlement doesn't equate to actual substance. She might have ambition, but ambition alone doesn't make her worthy of a housewife title. In response to the backlash, Gia seemed unfazed, brushing off the criticism and maintaining her belief that her time will come. People can say what they want, she stated in a follow-up post. I've been on this journey for years, and I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. Her words, while confident, felt eerily similar to the defensive postures taken by other reality stars who faced public derision before realizing they weren't as beloved as they once thought. Even within her own family, it seems not everyone is on board with Gia's aspirations. According to sources close to the Giudice Gorga clan, Teresa herself has privately expressed concerns about her daughter's growing arrogance. Teresa's proud of Gia, but she knows the housewives world is brutal, the insider revealed. She's worried that Gia's setting herself up for failure by thinking she's ready to take on something this big. It's one thing to make a few appearances, but it's another to be in the trenches with these women. In the grand scheme of reality TV, Gia might just be the victim of overconfidence. Having grown up in the RHONJ bubble, she's seen the highs and lows of the franchise up close. But witnessing something and experiencing it firsthand are two very different things. The housewives who last long enough to leave a legacy, like her mother, are those who not only bring drama, but also navigate their personal and professional lives with complexity, nuance, and an ability to connect with audiences in a way that goes beyond surface-level conflicts. For now, Gia is a young woman still figuring out her path. She may not be a housewife yet, but she's certainly got the ambition to carve out a space for herself in the world of reality TV. The question remains, will she be able to do it on her own terms, or will her delusions of grandeur be her downfall? The reality, as many have pointed out, is that Gia needs to step back, humble herself, and take the time to grow into the person she wants to be. The Real Housewives franchise is full of women who've lived through it all and come out the other side stronger. Gia's time may come, but until then, she might need to accept the fact that simply being Teresa Giudice's daughter doesn't automatically make her a housewife.